Hello, this is Ivana.
This is Yaw.
And you're listening to the podcast Life in Black and White.
And all the shades in between.
We share all things life, relationships, marriage, parenting, race, and much more. If you enjoy listening to us, then please follow or subscribe to this podcast. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook under Life in Black and White. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Life in Black and White and all the shades in between. Hey, Yaw.
Hey everyone. I hope everybody's good.
Say something more than that.
No, I'm excited to kind of get into the interview and, it's action-packed.
Don't worry, I'm not going to talk about the scarf story, so you can be chilled. Sorry, just a minute ago we were talking about this story, but I'm not going to share it because Yaw is not very happy about me sharing that story. Are you?
Right.
Yeah?
Of course I am. Fine.
Okay. But it's too long, so I'll share it next time.
Yeah, we'll do. So if people make sure that they join in, they'll hear the scarf story at some point soon. Yeah?
Yes. And if Alex, our friend, is listening, we say hi. Anyway, how are you, Yaw? How are you feeling?
Yeah, good. I've had some food. We've got good company. We've got a good conversation and stuff.
Oh, company with me? You mean me?
Yeah, sure.
Or our chat-ups?
I mean all of us that are here in the Zoom and things. We're in a good place.
Good. So today we are talking to Suzanne, you can choose, Kanuchova, which is my dear friend of 20 years-ish, because we met at the university. We've been friends since the university. And she also works for Henkel, a corporate Henkel, as a communication expert, but I'm not sure I'm saying that properly, so I'll let her introduce herself in a minute. And we're going to talk about life in your 40s or middle age. Christ, I can't believe we're middle age now, but it is what it is. Being single, meaning not married and without children, yeah. But I'll let Zuzka introduce herself first. So Zuzka, over to you, and welcome. And thank you for being here with us tonight.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for having me. Hello, Ivka. Hello, Yaw. Very nice of you inviting me to your podcast. Very honored I am, I have to say.
We are honored.
No, I am honored. The pleasure is mine.
Let's keep this small talk. Let's get to the point. Yeah.
Your question was, what do I do?
Yeah.
So basically, you could, for normal people, as I would say, you could, you basically explained it nicely. I am working as a communication specialist. Official position is cluster head of corporate communication for 3 markets, CEE. Cluster because this is 3 countries considered as a cluster. And translating it also to people who don't still understand, what do I do? I'm taking care of the overall reputation of Henkel on those markets, internal, external communication, social media, public affairs. I'm advising to CEOs, to managers, and also dealing with the crisis communication. And it's an exciting job, I have to say. But besides that, I am a normal, ordinary person living a happy life in Bratislava, currently in Slovakia. And I'm very happy to be here with you two.
So I hinted what we're going to talk about more today, although I would love to talk about your job as well, because it sounds very interesting.
Next time. Here we are for private job. We can leave to different podcasts.
Next time, at least we have the next time. So, I mentioned that you're in your 40s and you're single, meaning you're not married. You have a boyfriend, but that's quite fairly recent, isn't it? Anyway. And you have no children. And in this day and age, many people might perceive it as something that, it's not normal, that you should, follow this pattern that you get, you graduate school or you go to work, you get married, you have kids. Yeah. And when you don't follow that pattern, then something is not right. Yeah. At least that's how many women in this situation feel. So how does it, what is it like for you? Yeah. Do you feel like it's like you have some condition, but you know what I mean? Like, how do you see this?
I mean, I got a lot of hope since I have a boyfriend. I mean, now it's been over a year we've been together, but to put everyone who is listening to us in a picture, my story wasn't that simple. I mean, I had a relationship like any other girl when I was still at university where we met. And I had a boyfriend for 10 years. And I thought it's love of my life. I thought he is the one. He is the guy who will marry me, who will have kids. And then after 10 years being together, I asked him like, okay, are we going to get married? And he replied to me, I will never marry you. And believe it or not, that indeed broke my heart into thousands of pieces, because you just don't want to hear that if you are with someone for 10 years. And where I see what I could have done better was not to build life on one person, right? So that was very kind of challenging times for me, because I all of a sudden realized that my entire world was one person. He was my lover. He was my best friend. He was my soulmate. He was my roommate. And then I kind of lost, honestly, the sense of being, right? So it took me several years to heal, as I call it, because the process of healing was very long for me. And I was in my 30s, right? So girls in 30s, they do get married, they have engagement rings, and they already have kids, and everyone look at you like, what's wrong with you? Like, or they know your story, so they would not ask you because they know that you just freshly broke up with someone, right? So it took me several years of healing. And once I healed and I learned what I love, what I like, that I can take care of myself also, not just financially, but also spending my time being alone. I really enjoyed, and I really found like a different me when I was alone and just doing things that I really love to do. Because when you are in a relationship, you somehow compromise, right? I mean, you two could talk also hours about it, but that what I learned, having a relationship for 10 years, living with a person in one household, and then all of a sudden living alone, was completely different setup for my life, and also for my family, for all my friends. So when you ask me, Ivka, how I felt, I mean, first I felt like betrayed. I felt hurt. I felt like there is no reason for me to be in this world. But luckily, I didn't have really bad thoughts in my head. It was just kind of inner feeling that I'm not worth the ring. I'm not worth to be anyone's wife. And all other girls, you somehow start to compare yourself with others. And that's very bad, because you're not really just, I was asking myself, why am I comparing myself to anyone? So that was another era of my life. And then I was about to reach my 40s, and still I was single, but I was happy single, right? That's a different phase of my life, when I am just alone, enjoying myself. And people started to look at me really weirdly, like, what's wrong with you? You are like focusing too much on your job. You are not like having any boyfriend that you would show. And I was like, nothing wrong with me, but I do not want to have this feeling of loving someone and then losing someone, because that internally killed me, right?
Yeah. We went through that time together. No, I was going through a divorce. And so we helped each other. Yeah.
Lucky friends. One is getting divorced, the other one is being told that she will never have someone's ring or ring from someone. So, oh well, girls, life can be somehow a joker at a certain point.
Yeah. So then what happened after?
I mean, after I was living my happy life and I healed and I learned a lot about myself, I said to myself, okay, I had several relationships or like short relationships, and I tried. I mean, Corona broke it actually, because I have a different friend who was also divorced or getting divorced. And she said to me in Corona, we cannot be lonely any longer. So we set up a profile individually on Tinder, and we started to really check the guys, right? Who's around. And it's funny because with my work, I travel a lot, right? I go to Budapest and there you see all the Hungarian blokes. I go to Bratislava and it's showing you the Austrian guys or even people living in, then you go somewhere in the middle of the country, it shows you people around you. So my Tinder was quite shocked, like, where am I living? Who am I? Who is my target group? Yeah. And there is also, I learned because I work in communication. So for me, Tinder was a very great thing on checking how people communicate, because the profile you create, it's like your presentation. How much and what you're going to say about yourself visually, but also with the words and what you use. Of course, I never had the paid version. They say paid version is designed for men. I don't know. But also I had friends, men, who had a paid version of Tinder. And I was asking them like why they are paying for it. And they told me just to boost my ego. Because honestly, if girls like me and they give me like those swipes or whatever is given there on Tinder, it's kind of ego booster. And I was like, okay, but it feels good, you know, if you put pictures of you and then someone just put hearts or text you. Mm-hmm. So it's really cool. But then, you know, it's also full of kind of fake people or people who are offering you different things or even sex, you know, in a group or something. And you're like, whoa, that's going.
But if that's what you want, that's fine.
So there is a lot of things you can find on Tinder. And what was also an insight for me, there was lots of my friends, men, of course, because I had my profile set as a woman looking for a man. A lot of my friends who would never admit that they're looking for someone had a profile there. And I was like, wow, you know, so you actually see your neighbor. Of course, you can hide those people or not to be visible, but I was very transparent. I had nothing to hide. I said, look, I am single. And yes, I am looking for a relationship willingly because I think I had my time alone. And now is the time to find someone. So I found one person on Tinder and we met, and it was so weird because, you know, on Tinder, people look like so big and masculine and all nice, and they sell the best about themselves. And then you just meet them in the city, and the guy is like very short, not looking alike on the picture. And you're like, what should I do, right?
Awkward.
It was indeed awkward. And that friend of mine, she's also called Zuzana, she was telling me whether I'm crazy because if I go on any date, I should let her know it's so dangerous. And she advised me to walk with the person because honestly, I forgot how to date. I don't know what people do on dates, right? Imagine yourself, you would now have to go on date. I mean, come on, guys. If you are in your 40s and you need to date again, to introduce yourself again, to tell people, this is what I like, this is where I sleep, this is what I do. No, I mean, sorry, I had this. I said, can't I just find a person who knows like what I do, who am I? Let's skip the intro. Let's just be boyfriend and girlfriend. You know what I mean? Not these intro rounds and you meeting different people who are like, or some people start to text you, you know, you come home, you're busy, you had like whole day of communicating with people, reading and writing, and the guy texts you, how are you, my sweetheart? How was your day? And you're like, oh.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you cannot be, because if you want to find a relationship, it's not, you need to kind of give. And this is also a lesson, all right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So did you find anyone on Tinder?
I did. I did, I have to say, but it wasn't working. I mean, we went out for several weeks and apparently it turned that the guy was a little bit like a manipulator. He was first friend of mine. We used to do sports together because I tried to really spend my time as when I was single doing sports because that clears your head. It's also good for your body. So I really try to do different sports. So for example, I would take him roller skating and it's safe because you do sport. You are not together. Each of you enjoy. And I mean, if something goes wrong, you just pack your roller skates and you just go, right? So it's also a good thing to kind of spend time. And we dated for honestly several weeks, and then he turned into a disaster manipulator. And I was very proud of myself because if I was in my 20s and I would have such a boyfriend, I would not know where are my borders? I would not know that this behavior is something that I am not going to tolerate. I would not even see the signs of this behavior. But because I am in my 40s and I had few relationships here and there, I mean, I heard a lot of relationship stories, and I kind of dedicated a lot of time learning about my personality and who am I, because honestly, when I broke up, I thought there is something wrong with me, that we broke up because I'm not worth it, I'm not okay. So I tried to really go deep inside and learn, like, who am I? Who is Zuzana naked? Who is Zuzana inside, right? And I learned within the years when I was alone that there's nothing wrong with me, honestly. I mean, okay, I might be moody sometimes, I'm grumpy when I'm hungry, but I mean, that's normal, right? Who's perfect?
Who isn't, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's just showing thumbs up.
You know what? Just that, to even say that, that's just on another level and stuff, because that is me. I'm like,
everyone is grumpy when they're hungry.
Oh, I go another level. Depends how hungry I am, especially because you put it on yourself, right? Because you're like, why have I not eaten? But sorry, I'm going on a tangent and things, but totally agree.
But with women, it's even worse, yo. I mean, I have two brothers and I watch them being hungry. And as you said, it's another level of your personality. You don't recognize yourself. Same with me. I mean, when I'm hungry, I am warning people around me. I am hungry. So they know even a little chocolate bar would do, just to kind of put that easy.
So back to your story. So you're in your 40s now, and that relationship.
And I am on Tinder, and I am meeting few people on Tinder. Also, selection on Tinder is, I would say, after you are there on a while. And we used to, I mean, forgive me, all the girls and all the boys on Tinder, but honestly, when we used to go out for a drink or just to meet as girls, we would sit in a bar and we would open Tinder and we would look and check the guys in a neighborhood area. And it's cool, because you see. But I mean, I cannot imagine someone does that to my profile. Yes, but it was that vicious that I did check people around me. Also, when I came to Budapest, because I go there often for business trips, I would be coming to my hotel room and, before I went to bed, I just checked the people around, different Attilas and Arpads and Zoltans and whatever they are called. And I have to say, because it's a bigger city, it's a bigger possibility of wider selection, right?
That's amazing. So I wonder now, do you feel stressed around this time? Like, oh, I should really have someone, I should get married, I should have kids.
What I feel stressed about, or stressed, I wouldn't use the word stress, to be honest, because I mean, my story, happy story, ended with Tinder and everything when I met my boyfriend. And that was the days when I broke up with the guy I told you about that was manipulating me. And honestly, I went for a trip with several friends where other people I never met also went. And I was in that mindset up like, okay, this is it. I mean, I am taking a break from looking for a relationship. I started in Corona times, and I wasn't like very serious about finding a relationship. It was rather, again, a journey, opening yourself to another person. Because also I discussed with many friends, like, if you want to find a relationship, you need to be ready for it. And you need to be aware on your lows and downs and ups and your happy moods. And you need to know who you are, and you need to really work with your personality. Because if another person comes to your life and you are grumpy and moody, like, would you like partner like that? You wouldn't, right? So you need to really be very open to yourself, and you really need to be open to another person and tell them, look, I am really bitchy when I'm hungry. So you watch it out, because it's coming. It's honestly coming. And I cannot tell you when, because it's coming like never. I mean, it's nothing to do with my period. It's just hunger, pure hunger. So if you don't feed me, you will really struggle, and you will see.
That's when you make sure that you got stacks of snacks and stuff that you can always kind of have just in case, right? So, yeah.
But you know about it, right? It's one of your weaknesses that you cannot fully control. So you are aware of it, right? And of course, there are certain other watch outs that you have, but older you get, maybe more you know yourself, and maybe more you are open to discuss it, and you're not like ashamed of it. So long story short, when I was in that mindset of, okay, I'm ready for another relationship. And then I found a relationship, lasted a few weeks. I ended up with a manipulator. I was very proud, kind of saying, sorry, but you need to leave from my life. I mean, I'm not having this. I mean, the guy was really shocked that, wow, what happened? Let's talk this over. I said, no. It's no discussions. I mean, this is it. I mean, we can stay friends, but enough. And then I went to this trip with another people. And there I met a guy, and he was younger than me, right? So you would think, okay, younger person, yeah, okay, nice guy, but that's about it. And then somehow we bonded. We started to chat, and it took us several months that we kind of realized, that we are close enough to each other. So, and I wasn't honestly like hitting on him on anything. I mean, usually you go at the age of 40, you go normally for a drink. So you invite another person and you are very open. Okay, let's go for a drink. And that's it. Like no going home after or something, just you go for a drink. So we went several times for a drink to the city. And we got very close. Then I was traveling for a month. I was in New Zealand with my mom and my brother. And I still kept chatting to this guy. And then I came back to Slovakia from New Zealand. And we went to some traveling presentation of another friend of ours. And the guy went with me. And I was sitting next to him, and he just put his arm around me. And another friend was asking, like, so what's between you two, hey? And he just looked at me and he said nothing. And he just kind of pushed me away.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, you put all the effort into building relationship, not boyfriend, girlfriend, like relationship. You open to that person, you answer to that person messages, even you have any other messages in your feed and you need to reply or you should reply. And this person says all of a sudden, nothing. So it really hurt me in a way. And then I stopped we went home from that evening and I kind of stopped replying to his messages. I mean, when he was texting me, good morning, how are you? It took me 3 days to reply. And then I was like, and he said, what did I do? I said, nothing. Like, what do you want? And he said, you changed your attitude towards me. What did I do? And he was really insisting on meeting me, and he was coming to Christmas. And I said to him, no, another guy who's going to tell me, oh, you fell in love with me and I'm sorry, let's be friends. And I was like, no, another heavy conversation. It's before Christmas. Honestly, I don't want to have this heavy conversation. And he was really, really insisting and telling me, no, let's meet. We cannot push it for a new year. Let's talk before the year is over. And I was like, okay, Zuzana, you had many difficult conversations. So one more, it's fine. So let's do it.
Yeah.
And then he came to my apartment and he kissed me as I opened the door. And I was like, okay, that's weird. And then somehow, we talked and he told me that, he realizes how special I am and how much he fell in love with me. And because he has 9 years less than me, he was also questioning this relationship with an older woman, whether his friends, what they gonna say, and so on and so on. So he has a lot of question mark. And he said to me, but I don't care. I just want to be with you. He said even F the age, right? And I was like, wow, that was very strong. And since then, we became boyfriend and girlfriend. Yay. So, yeah. So it's a happy story. And also it taught me that when I was on Tinder, I would never, for example, filter guys even 1 year younger than me, right? Mm-hmm. This guy is 9 years younger than me. I would never in my mind
good for you
date a guy 3 years younger than me. Honestly, I would never. So again, learning about my personality and my mindset is like, you need to somehow completely let things go. If, you're really serious about that, you want to change your life. Even I wasn't, and I didn't want the relationship. I was not even looking and it just came. But when you were asking Yuka about the stress I have, I am 40 plus, right? So logically, if you have a partner, you would maybe want children. And that is something that nature somehow solved for us, that you have a certain age when you should have kids. And this is the only kind of concern that I have. If one day I would be able to get pregnant, if I would be able to kind of carry the child and give birth, because to get pregnant doesn't mean you give birth, right? So it's the thoughts that when I was in my 20s, I would never have. I thought it's automatic, right? That you get pregnant, you get children, you get partner, full stop. Now I'm in my 40s. I'm really appreciating moments I have it with my partner, because we have a very special time. And he really treats me like a queen, which sometimes I even cry, like how nice and gentle one person can be, how he looks at me, how he treats me. I never felt like that with anyone else. But that question about being able to have children with him, it's somehow something that when even people ask you, okay, now you have a boyfriend and are you going to get married? And I'm like, guys, chill. So society still, whatever age you are, if you are still kind of, they think you still might have a little chance, or they rush me. Like, even my mom, she kind of whispered, and she would never push me. But last time she was like telling me, oh, you should really start being serious about having children because you are over 40 and you think that's going to be that easy. You're going to be too old when you're going to have little kids. And I was like, I am not sure if I want to have children still. Honestly, I mean, it was never like I don't want to, but I cannot say I want now, because it takes time. I mean, we've been with Adam for a year, and I would not say it's enough to meet. I mean, maybe I'm too serious about that, but that is the only kind of worry back in my head that kind of is still not clearly answered and uncovered.
What do you think, if there was something that you wanted to kind of put out there to, say, women who are late 30s or, somewhere around there, and, they're having some of these thoughts and stuff going through their heads. Should I be having kids? Should I just drop everything? Do I need to kind of bow down to like that kind of traditional kind of conservative, approach and stuff to life and things? I've got this. Absolutely need to kind of have, the kids, or, 4.2 children or whatever it is and things. What would you like to kind of say to, and it's different for everybody. I get it. I absolutely understand. And, you went through quite a bit and stuff at age of 30 and all that. That's a big impact. But one of the big things that I heard in what you said is you actually gave yourself time to really kind of process things. And sometimes we jump from one thing to another and blah. But what would you like to just say to people who actually feel like
you did?
Feel pressured.
I think there is no generic answer to that. I mean, depends on your family. Some people tell you they have children and it solves all their issues, right? So it depends on your circumstances, where you are. I mean, I did not have a partner, so having kids at 30 was not even a question. But if I would have a partner and he is not going to marry me, because this is what I hear and witness from many ladies, that men somehow are very hesitant to kind of buy an engagement ring and be really kind of serious about relationship, right? They still prefer to live it as a wife, as a partners, not as a wife and a man. And for me, for ladies, or now speaking for myself, it means a lot when you propose, right? It means a lot because, I mean, I don't honestly care if I get married or I don't, because, okay, I'm financially independent and I maybe lost the Cinderella story, or wow, one day the prince will find me. But when I'm thinking, when I was 30, I would love to have a man who would come with the ring and tell me, you're love of my life, and marry me. Even we wouldn't have kids. So it wasn't a question have children. It was a question finding someone who will tell you, but that's my story, that you are worth it, that you are the one for that person. So it's difficult to advise, but what I would definitely not do, it's rushing. Like, oh, you're 30, you need to now give birth, you need to now find boyfriend, because you're going to end up with someone who doesn't know your value, who's going to harm you and who's going to influence the rest of your life and your family life, because it's never about you and also your other family. So I would never rush, and I would advise everyone to give themselves the time really to know themselves. I mean, know what they like, what they do, and then look for a person. And then maybe better identify, if you meet someone like I did, is that the right person? Is this person adding to my life or taking from my life? Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so many women, especially, they do this. Like you said, they rush because they panic and they have a child with person who is willing to. And that's, everyone suffers, including the kids. Yeah.
But I don't think it's just women. I don't think
No. I wanted to, talk about men as well. I'm just saying that this happens like to both genders, but women especially, more often. And
but what you are challenged with when you are mentioning it is like you're single and people tell you, okay, you are good looking, you are educated, you have a good job. What's wrong with you? Why you are not like, they tell you are picky, and you're like, what do you mean I'm picky? The men they try to date me, I'm not saying they were not worse, but they were not just perfect match. I mean, there was something inside of me that was telling me he is good as a friend, but not good as a partner, right? Because many men are still not mature enough, or they are kind of not sharing their life and whatever they have with you. So I would love to share everything, my flat, my salary, my food, everything. But the man tells you, okay, you need to pay for yourself because it's this, women should really now are independent, so they should pay. And I'm like, okay, it's not, I cannot pay about myself. I want to see your attitude about it, right? So this is what I'm looking at. I'm not looking like someone who I'm just gonna marry and he's gonna take care of me. I'm looking if you are really willing and I can rely on you, because psychologically, one day if I have children with you, would you be taking care of my children like really with everything, or would you have certain stops where you would say, oh, sorry, I don't provide any longer? So it's like a fear or security that you are kind of battling with, right?
I'm glad you mentioned this. This is why women like when men pay. It's not because we're bitches, but like you said, we're wired that way because we are aware that we'll have children one day. And, if they're not willing to pay for you now, what is going to happen when you have no money? When you're on maternity leave.
Do you know what? This is a conversation, isn't it? This is where you go. No, because I absolutely get that, and because I never really dated and stuff. It was never really my thing, and things, right? But I wouldn't have a problem with paying with anything, like if I'm going out with mates.
But don't take advantage. You want to say?
It was. I think people have men have had it kind of drummed into them, especially now, that if it's not if the people are not offering to even kind of suggest that they're gonna give something kind of back, then they're feeling, oh, maybe I'm just being taken for a ride and things. I'm not saying, but I get it. I get what you mean and stuff about the overall kind of thinking.
Long term.
Could that person support, not just support me, but support me and the family and stuff in that instance? Or because even when you've got a family and stuff, right? You probably find that most family, or most parents or whatever thing, both of them are working anyway, so it's never really kind of a one income kind of household.
It's just in deep subconscious for women that
I get it. I get it.
But sorry, you were
sorry. We went on the tangent.
It's lovely listening to you, but I mean, again, it's not that generic. Of course, there are then certain types of women, then they just take advantage of that. But I think here we are on the same page. We are talking normal relationship, but I have no issues paying for drink, for food. One day I pay, next day you pay. But if you all the time are like, oh, sorry, I don't have money on me, and you're then thinking, okay, so is it going to be like that forever, that I'm gonna ending being kind of one who pays and provides? I don't want to be, right? Because anyway, women get paid less, and on the other side, like, where is your will to share, right? So that's another watch out when I went for any date, and then you would see a guy that is like, okay, you pay, and I'm like, okay, we just met first time, so this gesture didn't help you. I will pay with with all my heart and all my love, I will pay, and I will leave a good tip to the waiter because he saved it all tonight. But me and you are not going to meet any longer, right?
No,
I had this story. Zuzka knows this story. I think you too. When I had my rebound, after my divorce, this guy, and I had a coffee. It was just, a few months thing. And I had the coffee with my mom, and he met us there. So we just had a coffee, and he came, and then he ordered something. And then when the bill arrived, he just put money for his coffee on the table, and we were Yaw's face. We were supposed to, pay for us. And again, then I told him that, that was weird, and he said, why? Why should I pay for you? I came later. Yeah. I was like, oh my God. Some people don't get it. Yeah. And I came out of it as a bitch, of course. Yeah. But, this is, yeah, sorry.
No, I was going to say, even I, in that instance and stuff, it really is.
You see a girl you want a date, having coffee with her mom, of course you pay, no?
Yeah, but again, it's like this thing that nobody wants to be taken for a sucker and things, right? And again, in that instance, I wouldn't even think twice about paying. I'd be kind of insulted and stuff if you said that you were going to pay and stuff, or your mum said that she was going to pay. I would want to pay. If there was a situation and I couldn't for some reason pay and stuff, and I'd be embarrassed a little bit, but I would find a way of kind of showing that,
it's
this
just,
is an instant.
Yeah, it's manners. I think,
but
in a way.
It's such.
It depends who it is. If it's a friend, then of course you don't expect them to pay. If they do, it's nice.
But even if it's a friend, if it was a mate of mine.
But if it's start new relationship, or you really want to impress someone, or it doesn't matter. Yeah.
We're going.
It's just we diverted a bit. It's just
it's a signal, for me, it's a pure signal how this person is going to treat you. And also for me, it's an indicator of being able to share. Because in my previous relationship, I was dating a person who admitted when we broke the relationship that he cannot share with anyone, that it's in his genes somehow, which for me was a bit of shocking, because I still think you can learn how to share. I come from a family. I have 3 siblings. So for us, it's natural. We share everything with everyone, right?
Yeah.
But maybe that wasn't, even he also had siblings, but maybe that wasn't the way he was brought up, or I don't know. But I observed this many times with friends who also tell me, I went on a date and the guy didn't pay, or everyone paid, own bill. And I'm like, okay, but that's for me on one date, maybe you cannot assess, but when he does it again and again, then for me, it's a watch out sign, right? It's not like I'm taking it for granted that someone's going to pay for me. But if he does that all the time, no.
It's about the gesture. Yeah. 100%.
Absolutely.
Wait a minute. Our son is knocking. We'll come in a minute.
You're not missing this, are you?
To be honest, you really that's actually another interesting thing, that when I was talking about kids, of course, I would love to have kids, and still because you don't have it, you wonder how it is. But when I see all the parents, and older I get, I see everyone tired, everything around children. And these people still tell you, I'm so happy I have him. He's love of my life, but it's so exhausting. And you're like, I'm going for a spa, or I'm going, to get my nails done. So you enjoy your children, I enjoy my nails, and, kind of, you cannot compare. You know what I mean? This is what my sister always tells me, that if she could have kind of someone when she was 20 and she was giving birth, telling her, don't have kids because it means you will lose complete your life, and everything from now till another 20 years, it's going to be around your kids. She said, I would really question whether I want it or I don't. But okay, she's a mother of 3 like you. And she's a brilliant mom, but I sometimes see that how much it takes of your energy, 100%. Of everything.
So that brings me to my last question, that if having no children, being not married in your 40s is a blessing or a curse?
I would say for me, it's a blessing because look, if I would marry a person I was dating many years ago, maybe we would be divorced now. Maybe I would be with a child that would look alike that person. I would be fighting maybe over, now I'm making it up, right? The kid with the person, and I would kind of have a very difficult life. And I would wake up now like, okay, I want to have a career. I want to travel. Because it didn't happen to me, I could, and I can still travel. I could build my career or follow my inner voice. So for me, it is a blessing because it was a path that brought me where I am today. And I'm happy, I'm satisfied. As I said, I met a person who is treating me like a queen. And I wish to every single person in this world to have this feeling and have such a person and prepare yourself because these people are existing. They're coming to your life. You just need to open yourself and know about your weaknesses, your strengths, and because relationship, it's something you want in your life. You don't need, you want, right? Because you can survive alone. I can survive. My boyfriend can survive alone. We just discussed it the other day, but I want to have it in my life because it brings a lot of good stuff, right? It changes you as a person. But you need to be a nice person to attract another nice person, not grumpy and kind of in depression, nobody loves me, I'm not pretty, I'm fat or whatever. I mean, come on, everyone is kind of worth a relationship, or at least worth to realize they are worth, not like I was doubting myself.
Yeah. Yaw used to treat me like a queen as well, but then look at us now, the other day I was called and he didn't offer me his car.
And you know
that's
what?
The story. Scarf story.
That's.
No, I asked about the scarf and he said no.
Right.
So what happened?
Right.
Marriage.
So this is Scarfgate. This is the next installment of our lives and stuff together. I explained that it's really cold. It's freezing, and I was really cold.
Me too.
And wear a decent jacket, wear a big coat and things, right? No, let's put on the flimsiest coat and stuff that I could possibly find. I'm looking at you. I'm like all done up, scarf and everything. No, it's okay. It's done. We get there, and then, I'm really cold.
Still, you should have given me your scarf.
Well, I did. Offer
no,
my
that
scarf.
was a pity offer.
No. Right. let's get to the point, right? I offered, but then it was like somebody's ego.
But when you say, okay, fine, here you have it, does not offer.
Somebody's ego wouldn't accept the scarf, and that's fine because we're all responsible for our choices, right? And so, what do? I would just take the scarf, even if if I'm cold and my ego is saying, "Oh, now you're just giving," I'll just take the scarf and put it on. I'll get over my ego because I'll warm up quite quickly. No,
see what marriage does to people and children.
Exactly.
So I'm sure you're better off. Without.
This goes just like, my God, really?
No, but I'm just trying to figure out whether you have kind of, when you told her it's cold, you tried to teach her a lesson. When you saw her putting kind of not the warmest coat on, whether that was your plan with her, so you prevent that in the future. So when you tell her it's cold, she will know. And
I don't like this conversation anymore.
Do you know what? So much. It's just logic. It's logic in that situation.
You know what? I'll have a point to prove now next time.
Okay. Zuzka,
I swear to you, Imka, next time when he will tell you it's cold, you will not do the same mistake. So actually it was worth it. And I love the scarf story even more now.
Scarf.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we can wrap it up here. Maybe just one last thing. We talked mostly about women, being single and children free in the 40s. But is it the same case for the men? For men?
I believe it is.
No.
I believe it is because when I was in a phase of dating, of course, you meet other single men or friends that you openly discuss looking for a relationship. You are looking, I am looking. So, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with me? And these people, men, will share with you that is nothing wrong with them, that women are very demanding. In Corona times, mind you, the really decisive factor was vaccination, whether people were vaccinated or not. And especially on Tinder, many girls, what guys told me, had it in their profile that not vaccinated. So, you don't want to date such a person because it's a pure statement that you are against any medicines, any science, anything. So, of course, you wouldn't date that person. So that was one barrier that girls would put out, and you send the signal to the guy, this is my world, and, live with it or not. And then the guys many times underestimate themselves, or they are, older you get, the more difficult it is to date. If I compare, for example, my Adam, he is 9 years younger than me. So he would be the one wanted to come and wanted to talk when I stopped answering his messages. Young age is like you are more bold than rational, right? Yeah. So he would come and he would talk, even maybe he thought he would be denied or, it would not really end up. Whether if Adam had 10 years more, he would not come to my sofa, to my apartment, he would be thinking it over. So what I see on men, they are too much thinking. Even we say women are too much. No, single men, from my experience, are thinking too much instead of acting, instead of, let's say, and they're rushing themselves into relationship because they invite girl for, let's say, any sport activity, and they believe after 2 dates, it's, a ready thing. So, okay, we are in relationship. It takes time to build relationship, and it goes for both genders. It's never like, hey, I met you for an ice cream. Tomorrow we are going to the cinema and we are a couple, we live together. And no, it doesn't. And then they're frustrated because they invite girl for 3 times, 4 times, and the girl is still hesitant and so on, and they still cannot figure out. So go and date with another woman. And they are also, another thing what I observed, they choose one woman and they chase her. Why? Chill. Go for a coffee with another woman, but just for a coffee, not dating, no flirting, just kind of discover other people, other personalities. Don't just kind of focus on one lady. And if she lets you down, next 6 years, you're heartbroken. All women are whatever. You call them names. No, this is what men do. And I don't know why you guys think like this.
Because they're hunters.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it's an ego thing.
And I like it, like when one man is focused on one woman, but it's a problem when she clearly is not interested. And, just...
It's a communication, you should also learn, and this is what I also advise to some people when they talk about single life and what does it mean. I said, if you are not interested in that person, you should really say it to that person.
Yes, exactly.
I really like you, but I don't think we could be boyfriend, girlfriend, because I don't feel it like this. And I don't think longer we meet, but then maybe it's selfishness in us that you find like a buddy for spending time, right? And you don't want to let it go because, again, also on feminine side, it's a backup. It's an ego. And once you find a boyfriend, it is like this, right?
Yeah.
And I've seen it many times that people didn't or were not open to each other simply because they were selfish. They wanted to spend time being invited, going for a hike or going to the club just because they had the buddy, but they were searching for another man or a woman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny, because I think your other half and stuff is a lot more grown and mature and stuff for what he did there. Because I'm thinking to myself, at that age, would I have done the same thing? And
if it was me,
what if it was you? Oh, don't do that. Let's not do that.
It's a trap.
No, let's just do it in general. In general, I probably would have been like, I wish you all the best.
Yeah, but if you're in love, it's different. No?
Yeah.
No, I mean, if it was me, say, you wouldn't say, I wish you all the best.
Oh, see, I want my scarf. I'm just gonna go out and get a couple of scarves and stuff, and let's just call it even.
No, but I think you behave differently with age. You definitely date differently when you are 20. You date differently when you are 25, and you date differently when you are 32, and you date differently when you are over 40. And you are maybe, because you've been hurt many times and you have lots of scars on your heart, on your soul, you kind of very careful. And this is when it brings you to your single life, because you kind of lose hope and then you just kind of don't believe, or you don't realize soon enough that there is something tricky about your personality that you need to work on. Because usually we believe that we are perfect, but we're not. There are a lot of dark zones within our personalities, right?
That's a really difficult one to kind of understand. And
so if you're a dick, to admit it.
No, but even it doesn't mean that you need to be kind of a bad person. For example, the way you are dressed can be a thing that makes a difference. So if you meet a guy who is really like not caring what he's wearing, you would not be attracted. But if he puts something really nice, of course, your opinion, and the same with women, and he can be a scientist, a brilliant guy, even a billionaire. You wouldn't look at him because of the clothes. Yes, this is us. First, you kind of look with your eyes. So and the guys, sometimes they have such a bad taste in clothing, nobody advises them. And then they wonder why girls are not attracted. Well, if you come on a date and you are kind of dressed that I'm a bit more ashamed sitting with you, not knowing you, because if you are my friend, I know you for many years, and you come in your sweatpants, so be it, right? I don't care. But you are selling yourself and you're coming dressed, but you think it's okay and there's nobody to tell you. So sometimes I also beg my friends, if they are not really getting dressed properly, to tell their other single friends, advise them, because it can be, it's a very sensitive topic. So you need to...
You were 39 when we met, so you were 40 when we had the twins. Did you feel like you were old?
I feel that I'm being trapped into saying something.
Did you feel pressurized?
No, because I think I got to the point where I was kind of like, that isn't something that's happening in my life and stuff.
You made your peace with it.
I was
like
good.
Zuzka, basically.
I was good.
Well, Zuzka, if I understand it right, your attitude at the moment is, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't. Either way, it's all good.
It is. You need to let go life. You cannot plan life. I mean, when I've seen people planning their life, having early children in their, 20s, and now they are 40, and they tell me, oh, my life, I didn't do anything what I wanted. I'm asking myself, why? Why? Is it having a child stopping you doing what you want?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a tricky question. And then I meet people who had kids in their 20s and they're happy because they found the right partner. They wanted to have a family, and now they enjoy together. They got older together and so on. So again, it's not like a generic answer to that, but I'm happy as I am, because things happen for a reason. You need to accept them, but you need to also adapt your personality and your mindset to what's happening to you in your life, because otherwise it's going to go crazy. Yes, we are way too polarized, meaning have kids when you are 20 or at latest 30, because you want to be really an old lady having a kid. And, get married and so on. Why? No, don't, first of all, be at peace with yourself.
I felt like that. No, in my first marriage, I was 29 when I got divorced, or around that age, 30. And people who didn't know the situation, they were pressurizing me like, oh, you're 30 and you don't have kids. What are you waiting for? Yeah. And I'm so glad that I didn't succumb to the pressure like you, because I would have been fucked right now. Let's be honest. So, no one knows your situation better than you. And I think the right time to have kids, if you want kids, if you don't, that's fine. But the right time to have kids is when you meet the right person. Yeah, that's the right time. I was
maybe
at the time, but didn't have the
maybe
right
kid is not your answer. Sometimes
exactly.
Also, when I meet older ladies, they all ask me, oh, when you gonna have children? And I'm like, maybe I will never have children, but I'm happy. And they look at you like...
Does it not bother you when people ask you that?
Not any longer. It used to when I was single, and because I felt pressure like, am I gonna be alone? And now, because I'm not alone any longer, it somehow died down, and there is not even longer pressure, because I realize, I'm in my 40s, so will I get pregnant? Will I get children? Maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know. you know, you need to, again, let go. You need to see what's going to happen. And I just didn't realize why, or didn't understand why people are asking you why you have kids, and they believe children are the only happiness in life that you can have. Like you could not be helping other people or be in any other jobs or positions when, you know, you can take care of elderly people, you can take care of animals, you can, I don't know, help somewhere, when if you would have a family, you couldn't do the job. So this world is not just mother and father and children.
Yeah, 100%.
But kids are great. I mean, I always love children, and I admire all parents, really, to be fair, how you kind of create those new lives and you form them and you take care of them and you test yourself and your patience and level of patience.
Your patience. Oh my God. No, of course, like you said, once you have them, you can't imagine your life without them, of course. But if you hadn't had them, then it's fine as well.
You don't know, you know, like I don't know how it is to have children, like you don't know how it's not to have children.
Exactly.
So it's
okay. I think we can wrap it up here. Is there anything we haven't asked that you would like to mention, Zuzka?
No, I mean, I don't know. I think we mentioned everything. You need to see how you're gonna kind of edit it and what you're gonna do with it. But I think if you wanted the message delivered that people should be at ease when they're single, or not to be afraid to go on Tinder, because this is also something you need to get out of your comfort zone, to set up the profile, to open yourself, be seen and see, and then check and then have fun. So it's again a phases that you are going through.
Zuzka, it's been such a pleasure to have you here with us. We had such a good laugh as well and learned so many insightful things. So thank you so much. And I'm sure your message will resonate and help many, many, many women out there. I will say thank you.
Thank you for having me, and I wish you a lot of good guests in this podcast, and fingers crossed with getting all the new audience, because you do a really brilliant job, and I believe it should, or it will get to the people that need it the most. And if they ever doubt themselves, they shouldn't, because it's us who are only responsible for our own life, and nobody can make us happy, just ourselves.
I think at some point, because there was something you said very early on about well-being. You deal with well-being. I'd be interested to talk about that at some point in the future
when you come back.
Yeah.
When we talk about corporates and then about well-being.
Sure, guys. Anything you want to ask me.
Each year one episode with Zuzka. So thank you so much. You can find Zuzka on LinkedIn and on Tinder.
Not any longer.
I've got your back. Don't worry, Zuzka. I've got your back. Go on.
And you, our dear listener, if you enjoyed this episode, you know what to do. But Yaw will remind you.
I haven't got a clue. No, I'm joking. Please leave a review. Please follow, and just come with us on the journey and things. It's been brilliant so far. We would just like you.
Maybe we can make up like a sorry. Okay. Maybe we can come up with the name, with the new like a motto, like that we say at the end of each episode, like life is not black and white. Let's say together.
I really don't want to do that.
Please, no. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Life.
No. And this is going to be another episode of not bowing down to peer pressure and stuff.
No, I think that's a great ending. And we can say like, and remember, life is not black and white. And remember.
Zuzka, thank you so much for your time and stuff and your patience while listening to
Anyway,
this.
I'll get you on board with this. So thanks so much and see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.